is the all-new LDV D90, worth your money at the end of 2024 and beginning of 2025 in Australia. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Dimitri, this is Value Cars Australia, and I've been an owner of LDV D90 in 2022. I had a 2022 model on the screen for you right now. And upon reflection, I've already posted a video about that where I mentioned it briefly. I actually enjoyed my ownership of LDV D90. Yeah, upon reflection, even though it had its shortfalls, slightly underpowered in the petrol version. I didn't have a diesel version, let's be very clear. I got the base version, but it was cheap and cheerful. The car felt a little bit underpowered. The engine was definitely kind of, you could feel, even though the car was not loaded, but when I was going downhill and was trying to use just a normal engine braking without putting my foot on the brake pedal, you could feel revs going way up, like uncomfortably way up. And I have a video where I was describing all that with sounds and everything else. You can watch those videos on my channel. So there were things that were imperfect with LDV. The worst thing about my LDV D90 2022 model was the infotainment system. Infotainment was the worst that I can remember in the Chinese cars of that period of time. Fair is fair. Okay, things are changing, companies are changing. So today, without any further ado, let's take a look at if LDV has changed. At the very least, this LDV D90 has changed. Well, front and center is the design of the vehicle. I will once again swap very quickly and show to you what the old one looked like. Yeah, old one looked a bit older, but not significantly different from this new one. I'm sure you would agree. I prefer this look. It looks a lot more modern, it looks a lot more bold, it looks a lot more kind of just like bull shark nose, as opposed to slightly older school, slightly pointier nose. I was okay with the old look, I'll be honest with you. It did look a tiny bit on the basic side, I'm gonna say. This one looks a little bit like I'm a bit more modern. It's a bit more sleek. It looks good. I think they definitely uplifted the exterior. However, even from the pictures, I can tell you straight away, the difference is not significant enough for me to be like, oh my god, I'm in love. They redesigned it so much. And I don't want to say that is the feeling I got from the brand new, all new MG HS that we've reviewed recently. However, compared to the old MG HS that I also owned at some point in time, I think the new MG HS is significantly different, exterior-wise. Is significantly different. Please keep that in mind. We'll come back to this point. Here, I do not think that it's significantly different. Okay, well, front and center is the price, so why wait? Let's talk about the price straight away. So, the new D90 starts from 40,000, almost 41,000 Australian dollars. We'll not look at the top range, let's look at the bottom of the range. Why? Because I had a bottom of the range, the cheapo Dimitri LDV D90 2022 model, which I got with ABN, so there is a certain discount. I got mine for about 35 and change. And change was for tinting, for other kind of things. I think it was 35, 500, something like that, along those lines. So here, without tinting, without anything else, and we'll see what's included in this package, it starts from $5,000 more. $6,000 more, because mine was 35 plus change. This is almost 41, and that is with ABN discount. Okay, so far, let's progressively build our case. So far, is the exterior alone justifying such a steep increase in price? Absolutely not. But because LDV is part of SAIC Motor Group, and because MG as well is a part of SAIC Motor Group, you can see already that it is the policy of the company. They are simply justifying whatever the costs, whatever the costs they have to justify to us, even though they're all tax deductible. But they are putting that cost of increased manufacturing, whatever they want to say to us here, on us, on you and I. It's a very, very significant increase in price, but that's not the verdict. Let's keep scrolling and take a look at what else. From the back, again, they changed the tailgate a little bit. Speaking of the exterior, still not significant enough change to say, oh my god, take my money, I'm in love. It's not that type of situation. It is very similar to the old one. Yes, better, but similar. It's still 7-seater. Yep, that's exactly what we expect. That is the manufacturing year of 25, so we are not looking even at 2024 model, 2025 model this is. Okay, cool, excellent, good to know. And we are looking at, again, bottom of the range, deliberately, because we're comparing apples to apples, yes? So I had a two-wheel drive. It wasn't a four-wheel drive. I had a turbo petrol. It is a 2-liter turbo petrol. I can't remember exactly the kilowatts and newton meters of torque, but probably let's speculate and say that the engine has not changed. Correct me in the comments down below, you're most welcome to, but I cannot imagine this 2-liter turbo petrol engine performing much better than the one that was performing in my LDV D90. 8-speed ZF auto, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what my other one had. Correct me again if you are a technical expert and you know better than I do. I think ZF is a great transmission, but at the same time, I assume that mine had the same. 7 seats, yep. Lane keep assist, I guess we had one. I just hate it, so I may have turned it off. I don't know. Now, dual 12-inch displays with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Running ahead of myself, I can tell you that in the base version, this is the only difference. This is the only, other than exterior, we just discussed it at length, this is the only real difference that I can see from the website. Maybe inside it feels different, maybe they have some finishes there, maybe it feels differently. We're gonna explore this again. You need to let me know in the comments down below because I'm not a mind reader and I don't want to waste your time and my time if you're not interested enough to see more about this. But I'm happy to go back and take a look at it. I was an owner of this. So anyway, 8-speaker dual system, LED front and rear lighting. Why are they even mentioning it? Everyone has LED. Integrated dash cam, sorry, stand corrected. That is another feature that is not worth that much. It's worth $200. It's worth $200 in high quality. In bad quality, it's worth $60. Okay, but this is new. This is new. 7-year to 200,000 kilometer warranty. They had it before. So the only things that have changed for this extra $6,000 bottom of the range raised price is the exterior, not very different, but better, dual displays, and the integrated dash cam. That's as far as me as a private owner is concerned, I can tell you. Again, looking closer, same old LDV D90, slightly better finishes, a little bit more black at the back, slightly more aggressive nose, perhaps a tiny bit more plastic here. Things makes it look a little bit more off-roady, except we all know that it's a two-wheel drive, turbo petrol, it's not off-road capable. Again, a reiteration on this. Differential lock with all-terrain system. Of course, they're mentioning it here. However, it would not be applicable to your bottom-of-the-range two-wheel drive turbo petrol, but good to know that it exists. Cabin, from here, from this stitching, and I spent enough time in that car. Maybe they've added something. Maybe there are some small finishes like these knobs over there, and this obviously central cluster has changed, and perhaps maybe these vents. But overall, looking at all this, and they again are taking a photo of the leather-wrapped steering wheel. I had a basic plastic one, and the bottom of the range will have a basic plastic one, I'm pretty sure. Not much has changed. Perhaps maybe my LDV D90 2022 model had a horrendous digital central instrument cluster. Not instrument, but infotainment. And the instruments were analog. Were semi-analog, semi-digital. I think there was like a digital inset in the middle, but it was cheapo, El Cheapo. It had analog things. So this is digital. So that has changed as well, tiny bit. And looks all right. I actually like when odometer and speedometer, when they look like they should look, when there is nothing fancy, no rotating planet of Haval that Haval has. So that's not bad. So credit where it's due. Credit where it's due, mate. Okay. Seats, we will have a look closer. Big space for 7, absolutely, it's a massive vehicle, no question. Central, looks like the central division, this divided into two, this central storage box is exactly the same way designed as the old one was designed, opening like this, opening like that, rather than like this. Okay, hardly a feature, but that's fine. Once again, not much change. Once again, let's overlay on the screen. Here is the new one, and here is the old one. Just not significant enough change, but at the same time, credit where it's due. Why change something that is a classic big 7-seater SUV, nicely lifted? Why change it so significantly that it's not recognizable? They don't need to, but they are definitely following the trend of making it a lot more brick-like. The front is definitely a lot more cut off like this, and I like it, and I do like it, rather than being sharp. What else? Interior, connected interior. So this is where I think the things are changing, and that's where you probably would not need to get one of my sponsored products, one of those AI boxes or Apple wireless Apple CarPlay or wireless Android Auto adapters to be confirmed, because we don't know if it's truly fully wireless connectivity, especially for Android, because these things that are integrated typically, especially if it's not mentioned explicitly, typically Apple CarPlay is going to be wireless, but Android Auto is not going to be wireless. So before you buy this and say, yeah, awesome, I saved insignificant amount of money starting from about 40 bucks Australian, that's hardly a saving, but you don't need an extra gadget in that case. Digital, I already said digital instruments, that's cool, that is definitely an improvement, that's all right. And let's have a look at the camera. So integrated dash cam, that's cool. What does it save you? Again, money is insignificant that you would save on a camera. Quality, probably, most likely, even from this promotional photo, I can tell that it's a lowish quality. Even brightness of colors, they didn't even make it nice on this. And a lot of wasted space. Take a look. I understand that this is probably a preview where the person is operating this, but it looks like a lot of white space wasted and a tiny preview window. I don't like it. I basically don't like it. I don't like it. The only thing it saves you is the need to install one yourself, or buy one yourself, install one yourself, and wire it. That's the only thing it saves you by the look of it. But you have it. You have it. Oh, what else? Let's scroll. Dual wireless phone chargers. Well, I can guarantee to you, my friends, that it's not going to be available in your bottom of the range $40,000 El Cheapo equivalent of my $35,000 LDV D90 of 2022. That would be the top of the range for you, for sure, 100%. And then the back still looks rather rudimentary, I'm gonna say. This is definitely the unrefined plastic around, and this, it's nice that they have a socket, wall socket there. It's nice for if you decide to drain your car's battery, because who is gonna use an actual electric appliance there at the back? You're gonna use something completely different. But they have a climate control. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. Not too bad. Well, let's take a look. 12.3-inch infotainment with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. A clear high-resolution display features Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Bluetooth paired to a speaker system. They don't even mention explicitly that it's wireless. I give them credit, and I assume that it's wireless for Apple CarPlay. But for Android Auto, stay tuned, my friends. I don't think it would be, okay? Safety, so they're embedding the MG technology, really. It was rudimentary in LDV before, but again, I don't use this. I'm a responsible driver, and I think those of you who rely on these systems to make your driving completely safe and don't pay attention, you are just asking for trouble. A rear view camera looks like it's improved, because it was, again, it's not the best picture. Would love to see it in person, but the one that I saw in my LDV D90, it was glitchy, like it was like glitching as it was turning on. It looks great from the outside. But to wrap it up, my friends, so there is a gallery. You can go to LDV website and have a look at it yourself. And I think if you talk to me in the comments down below and you want me to talk more to you about it from sitting in the car and getting you first impressions beyond this spec-based and promotional materials-based, I will do it. So my opinion is this. At the moment, I acknowledge the fact that it's uplifted exterior. I acknowledge the fact that it's a nicer digital instruments cluster. It's a definitely nicer infotainment system that perhaps makes sure that you don't need to buy one of those aftermarket AI boxes or install an extra screen, smart screen in your car. That's cool. Saves you the trouble, mate. Not even that much money, but trouble. However, the 2 years that passed since the moment when I owned this car, 2 years, mate. Yes, it's a little bit of time, but it's not like 10 years have passed, okay? So in the 2 years, this thing has become $6,000 more expensive. $6,000 is a substantial amount of money, in my humble opinion. And in my opinion, once again, at the moment, looking at it semi-theoretically on the website together with you, I do not think it's justified. Let me know in the comments down below. Have you already ordered one? Have you already been to one of the dealerships and you think, oh no, mate, wait until you see this and that. That's a life-changing thing. I would love your pointers there, because if you point something out to me, I will pay particular attention to it. So this is your chance to talk to me in the comments down below. And before you drop out, please, as always, check out our sponsors. There could be something for you in the description of this video. Discounted car electronics, cheaper car loans, and that kind of stuff. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you didn't mind the change of the format a little bit. As always, give me a quick like, because that's your way to tell me to do more of these videos. That's rather easy for me and hopefully somewhat enjoyable for you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you next week.